Hello and welcome back to my channel. So, um, today I feel like talking about literally anything that I can come up with. Meaning that I've been thinking about 3 hours of what to talk about. I've had maybe 7 good ideas, but not a single good spirit in myself to do it. So I feel like the topic of tuning into the spirit whenever you want to do something that you have kind of promised yourself to do is pretty important. It's like when you make like a list of like 1,000 things that you would like to be doing, and then when you have the time to do it, you just don't have the right spirit to do it. It's really, really horrible. So usually, I've been struggling with this thing very many times, and usually what I see is that quite possibly the conditions of the world, of whatever you are in, whatever you are doing, are just incorrect. And where do I go from this place is very simple. I just like to put the thing into like a universal level of something that is understandable, like certain energies that are influencing us in the world, like things that you can see in astrology, for example, where the moon is based right now, or what planets are doing, and so on. And because the good reason for that is that uh, if I try to blame somebody else for my own possibilities right now or impossibilities or something, then I will go into a very difficult place from this. Which means that whatever is going on is the right thing for you. It's like we can come up with so many reasons, but at one point we just don't want to come up with them because we see that the reasons we come up with are seen as apologetical behavior of like finding some sort of excuse for things that you are not doing and so on. So when we have like some promise to somebody or to ourselves even, and we really need to do these things, and we cannot do them in any other way than finding out what is our situation and what is the thing that we actually need to be doing. So sometimes we can kind of expect ourselves to be doing something, but the thing that we should actually be doing is a totally different thing, and we don't know it. We don't know what it is, why it is like this, or how else could it possibly be. So for example, looking at the moon, very, very simple thing. You don't have to believe into any kind of bullshit or like esotericism or anything in order to do it, but I am giving you a very simple example. There was just full moon and it was in the Pisces, which means that it's like very floaty, very dreamy, all sorts of these things. And when you have learned even a tiny bit of astrology, then you can know that the full moon from Pisces, then it will go into Aries. And that means that there is more doingness and less of this kind of dreaminess, for example. For me, this is moving like this right now. And all of the topics that I wanted to talk about were like these big existential things that I really like to do. I like to ponder upon them very many times and to just see that however long I am pondering about them, for example, sitting in meditation or walking around thinking about certain thing here and there, then the more I am doing this, the more I see that I'm kind of gathering some sort of an energy around it. And then the more likely it is that when the energy goes big enough, then it will kind of like explode and start to manifest, showing me what it is that I'm thinking about. And it shows it in society, like in communal areas, in streets, in, for example, even in a library or in a shop or wherever you are, because it would sort of like to show what its nature is. So right now I am talking out of a pure interest in talking about the moon, and I did mention it, but the thing is, the moon is naturally putting itself in a position of talking about something spiritual, because moon is a spiritual planet. It's like heavily spiritual. And also now I like to mention the word spirituality, because I see that this can be understood in also like very very wrong ways, like as if somebody is like on the moon, like just walking there and not doing a single thing that is existential. This is also a lie, and this is like very very simple. You can see the spirit in very very different ways. You can see the spirit just in yourself when you are running a marathon, or when you are I don't know, doing anything. You have the spirit of doing it, and this is also spirituality. It's like spirituality in action, and spirituality in this way is life, because in all of us there is a spirit. In the world there is like the grand spirit of everything, and also you there you have a spirit of one thing, of another thing. You can say in another language that you can call it like a mood of doing this and that, and then when you are not in the mood of doing this and that, and you just don't want to do it, then you find yourself doing in another thing, and you can say you are in a totally different spirit, for example. So, for all of the people who have thought about me personally that I am like a little bit of a, crazy spiritualist, and I am saying that this is not true at all. I am very much down to earth. And the way I live like is just because I feel that my own spirit, like in a general sense, is a spirit that likes this type of life, that is full of a lot of uncertainty, a lot of unplanning, and just seeing what happens in the world, what I come up with, and what is just sort of to give you an example now. A good thing from yesterday, when I was just sitting in the beach and doing qigong and also talking to spirit about things I felt I needed to express, because I didn't have anybody at this moment to express them to, so I just started to talk to the spirit, and I felt really understood, like a big relief. And then then I did a little bit of crochet work that I need to do, that I'm also gathering my living out of, to be honest. And then I went, up from the beach. There were like stairways up. I went to the street. It's like an area where there is like a lot of this type of harbor area, basically. And then I saw there was a homeless guy, singing and playing ukulele. And that was really, really nice. I just felt like I was walking barefoot and all, happy and all. And then I just went there, sat with the guy, and we became like basically very good friends. So yeah, then we had like a cup of coffee, had a really nice talk, and heard that he has been living a homeless life for a year and all of that. So it's also like a part of a spirit of like what can happen if you just sort of are on the right path. It's like another so-called spiritual sentence that people say is that everything happens for a reason, and everything that happens is like a reflection of yourself and so on. And then I really felt it, because I was sitting down there, being also like spiritually relieved, and the guy was also singing from his heart, like making up his own words and so on. So it was really, really nice. We went to the library together. He's like writing a blog and stuff. And yeah, so this is another thing I see as an example. So I feel like basically this is it. This is what I wanted to say now. And I just hope that you are having a good time, and that you also learned a little bit more maybe about whatever you needed to learn about. So yeah, maybe even about me not being that crazy as I am seen in some of my videos, that I actually do have common sense as well. I just like a homeless life, and I don't see it as a bad thing. I see it when people are living homeless life and actually doing something, like playing a guitar or whatever. I don't know, making homeless journalism, whatever it is. I see it a totally fine thing. It's also like a crazy hack in a society that you can do, and if you do it, then you don't see it as abnormal. You see it as completely normal, and maybe even like closer to like reality. So this is my 2 cents right now, and I wish you a very good day and a perfect tomorrow as well. Bye bye.